So I recorded a whole video yesterday and it had no sound. So I wanted to talk about some comments that we've been getting on our Facebook ads. And so a lot of the times, there are comments about, oh my God, you guys represented Alex Jones, or you represented the Proud Boys. And then I'll have to respond to those comments with, we represent everyone. Everyone's entitled to a defense. But these comments are specifically related to civil lawsuits. So this comment from this individual basically was, he had reached out to our office and we weren't interested in taking his civil case. And so he's upset about that. And so I wanted to just talk about a little bit of the process that is behind our selection of the civil cases. So we're a small firm. We do not take all of the cases that come in, and there's a reason for that. So with civil cases, there is a risk that there is a dismissal or summary judgment that's not in your favor at the end, depending on the type of case. So if it's a unreasonable use of force, or if it's a unlawful arrest case, or something similar to that, we will do a little bit of background before we let you know whether we're interested in the case or not. And usually what we'll do is we'll get some information from you, we'll collect information on the internet. We usually want to make sure that your criminal case has already resolved, that it resolved without you pleading guilty to anything, without you stipulating to probable cause. And a lot of the times we would prefer to watch the body camera footage. And the reason for this is that, back in the 90s, there were a lot of lawsuits against police departments. And as a result, the courts crafted something called qualified immunity. And qualified immunity just means that, not all of these cases are going to result in a monetary reward. It actually is the opposite. These cases are going to get thrown out. And what qualified immunity says is basically that unless the constitutional violation is clear, there's a clear violation of a clearly established right, then you're not going to collect. And so then also for false arrest cases, if there's arguable probable cause, not even probable cause, if it's arguable that there is probable cause, they are going to err on the side of the police officer. And so as a result, you can litigate these things for years, and you can essentially incur a lot of debt, a lot of expenses, deposition costs, transcript costs, records costs, costs for experts, and then in the end have this case dismissed, and then you're out all this money. So we're a small firm. We only have 4 attorneys. And so we can't take every case that comes in anyway. We just don't have the manpower to do it. So so for those 2 reasons, we're very selective about the cases that we bring in. That's not to say you might not have a good case. You might have a good case. We just can't help you. And I hope you have I hope you find a good attorney that can litigate your case for you. But if we were to take every case, we would have to take more money from clients up front. So in a lot of these cases, we really try not to take money up front, especially if we know that there's a very high likelihood you're going to be able to collect. And so we'll collect on the back end. But if there's not this high likelihood, then we're going to have to charge you for the litigation costs and our time up front to make sure that we aren't going to be out the money at the end. And so a lot of the times the clients can't pay for that up front. They can't pay a retainer to litigate the case. And so they want to find an attorney that will take it on a straight contingency basis. And if that's the case, that's fine. But for those reasons, we're not going to be able to do that. So I just wanted to take a little bit of time to address that, just because there were a couple of comments. There was also another comment on there from a lady whose son or grandson was tased, and he was a juvenile. And, she discussed a lot about, about his age, but his age, isn't the deciding factor as to whether or not you have a good case. The behavior at the scene is important. The facts and circumstances surrounding it are important. And as I said, a lot of the times the courts are going to err on the side of the police officer. And so for those reasons, we just were not going to want to take the case, but you probably can find another lawyer who would be willing to do that. But in any event, I just wanted to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about the thought process that goes into taking civil cases. We do take pretty much every criminal case. speeding tickets all the way up to murder. I don't care what you're charged with. I don't care what you're alleged to have done. I do not judge. On our website, our main focus is judgment. This is a judgment-free zone. We do not talk about what happened or what you allegedly did. I don't care. We believe everyone's entitled to a defense. But, you know, the civil litigation costs are high, and so we have to factor in those in the decision-making process. So I hope that makes sense, and follow me for more.